My name is Casey. Let's show you the first collection. First off, hey, introduce yourselves, you shy men. Yes, bro, we're doing this. Come on. This is Derek.
What's up? Andrew. Head of creative director. How we want to?
Yeah, you want to look at this real quick? Yeah, zoom in on this.
Sorry, I didn't know in here.
Yeah, bro, we're just going.
Shots from the campaign.
This is Japanese paper from Japan, not from Alibaba. So you can only get that in Japan. Well, I think the goal today is to walk through the first collection, M-1, and show you guys what we've been up to. Speak a little bit more about the company and the brand and our goals for the future. So first off, very importantly though, this is our Jiffy steamer. Very proud owners of this. It's very expensive. We take good care of this thing, right? If you want a good steamer, go to Jiffy. Isn't that right, Andy?
If you don't have one of these steamers, you don't have a brand.
Yeah. This is, and we're not sponsored by or anything. This is just pure love of the game right here. This is a Jiffy steamer.
That's top of the line.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Goodbye, Jiffy. All right. Come on in. I'll show you the first shorts. So for M1, the first collection, there's a total of 4 garments and then 3 accessories. Again, as a new brand, there's so many ideas and products that we want to do and bring out to the world, but you only have so much budget to spend on the first drop before any revenue or anything comes in. So the products we decided to do were kind of like our flag stamp of building out kind of the brand a little bit, where there's Marshall Sport and then Marshall Mainline. It's going to be the 2 categories. So first one up is our fight short. It's like a mid-side split. First off, look at this hang tag. Look at how nice this is. This is so fun to make. Me and Derek, when we were in Korea, when was that? September. Yeah, we were on literally the train to Busan, not the movie, but we were literally on a train from Seoul to Busan, and we were chatting with Andrew on the train, and we're just like, what are our hang tags gonna be? And Derek came up with this cool idea because the whole brand, it feels very like natural, organic kind of undertones, and this is basically like a laundromat card that you see, and we designed it. It says Article of Marshall on it. It says welcome, made for the people, prepared by Andrew, Casey, Derek. Just all fun stuff, fun stuff that we want to do. But overall, this short, yeah. So it's got a perforated waistband, jacquard, soft silicone dip drawstrings. It's got like a very slight 4-way stretch, not too stretchy. I think in this space, in this sport, you don't want too stretchy of shorts. Am I right, Derek?
That's right.
Yeah, everything's tested, works very well. With the side splits, we had a lot of development where we started with it super high, and we thought it was a little too high, so we kept bringing it down through sampling, and we think we found the perfect height for it. But also with this short, the cool thing about it is like it doesn't just end at combat sports or fight sports. It's a very good all-in-one short for running, because we all know running's having a big moment. So it doesn't just stop there. I think one of our favorite features is this gold trim logo. This went through how many rounds of trying to figure out how to nail?
At least 4 or 5.
4 or 5 different trim applications that would work and not look too cheesy or too saturated, but also at the same time, does it actually stay on the garment? We found a lot of good ones that fell off a ton, and this was like the perfect balance that we found. So yeah, I mean, that's the short.
They won't fall off. No logos.
They won't fall off. Yeah, if you've ever had logo peeling issues in the past, these won't fall off. So next one, or is that all in the short? We good on the short?
Did you go for the brief liner?
Oh yeah, there is a brief liner. I know some people have issues with brief liners, but it's a relatively exposed short, so you want to have something in there, and the brief liner it's super soft, like internal mesh, and it's got a nice little key slot, which Derek has tested. What phone do you have? A naked
12 Pro.
A 12 Pro. It can fit in there, nice and snug. It's right here if you want to see it. It's on the right side, wears right. I mean, it doesn't look like you can fit a phone, but it stretches enough, and you can. It keeps it tight. So if you want to see our size labels, just very cool, fun stuff, guys. I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but besides my mom, maybe Derek's mom and Andy's mom. But moving on to the rash guard. This product, if we're known for anything in Marshall Sport in that category, we want it to be this product. We really believe that we basically made the best rash guard in the entire industry. Derek, can you attest to this?
100%. First try.
First try, no warm up.
Many samples, but eventually the one we're putting out, first try.
Yeah, Andy, can you attest?
Goated. It's the one.
It's the one.
It's the one.
Did you wear it in your half marathon?
I didn't wear. I wore the cutoff in the half marathon.
Why didn't you wear the rash guard, bro?
Oh, I gotta slim down a little bit.
You're just too scared. Okay, so this is like our gold standard baby. You know, we hope to, get really known for this in the, combat fight sport, industry. A lot of cool details. First off, look at this fabric, man. It's just beautiful. It's like an embossed snakeskin mesh. So soft, lots of good stretch, but also bounce back and retention. One of the biggest annoyances with rash guards is that like putting it on and taking it off is like arguably one of the hardest things to do because they're so tight most of the time. You won't have a problem with that with this garment. It comes off super easily, put it on super easily. It's just the best fabric ever. Sweat wicking, breathable, stretch, everything you need. Other features we got, a nice little underarm mesh panel where it's like a lighter weight breathable mesh, and the reason we did that through sampling. The main self body fabric is not, I wouldn't say it's not thick by any means, but under the armpit, there's not a lot of space there. So it's like when fabric bunches up, you start to get chafing, it feels really bad. So that's why we updated that. And then I think one of the cooler, innovative parts of this garment is this grip print on the shoulders. And that took a lot of sampling rounds to figure out and perfect. And Derek, you wanna speak why that is very important?
Well, we tried a bunch of logos. We initially wanted the gold to match the shorts on the chest, but we couldn't find a gold that would print on this mesh, and that's obviously like a very high abrasion area in combat sports. So every single time we tried to get a new gold logo on the chest, it would fall off. So then we had this, what's it actually called? Puff print?
No,
it's like a different
grip.
It's just grip print. We have a grip print on the shoulders, and it actually gives you a ton of grip on the mats when you're like shrimping and doing jiu-jitsu and other things like that.
Yeah.
So it actually adds like an extra level of grip that you have with your shoulders on the mats, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. So just all in all, that's martial fight, martial sport. Just two like amazing garments for that sector. Moving on, our great organic cutoff. So this is the start of Martial Mainline. And again, there's so many cool lifestyle streetwear, essential products we want to come out with. In due time, there's only so much budget. So first off, it's a very, boxy fit, slightly cropped depending on how tall you are essentially, but we wanted to add some real raw hem, like distressed detailing along the collar, the sleeves, nice little shoulder cap, and the bottom hem. Everything's raw, so it has that kind of worn-in vintage feel already, but there's obviously no vintage wash, which is fine. We didn't want to go for that direction. Cool thing, obviously, the edgy part of this is the V-slit in the middle. A lot of people nowadays will take your normal tees or tanks and you'll cut that slit in there, and we wanted to make sure it was a part of the garment when it came out the package. It's reinforced, so it's not gonna pull out. I mean, just don't actually try to pull it and further the rip, but if you don't do that, it should stay. We reversed the collar, so it gives it that nice little bound kind of look. And then, this back graphic for the people, baby. Our twin tigers. The quality of the print is great. It's not really a screen print. It's like I don't want to tell the technique of what it is because, it's selling the sauce, but essentially it's a really cool, printed technique. We had crack graphics all throughout, and then the front, a big one. Just a great everyday piece. And it's organic, 100% organic cotton. Perfect fit, perfect crop, perfect fit. We'll have Andy do a try-on haul later, against his will, but, we'll get him in the clothes because that's what everyone wants to see. And then finally, to round out our apparel collection is the Martial Lace Sweat. Again, this is just a beautiful piece, honestly. So it's a cotton poly sweatpant. Again, and in the future, our goal is, this was just the first one coming out, but in the future, all our cotton-based products, we want to make a push towards organics for everything. Even if there is a blend, we want to just make sure we're using the best cotton that we can that's available. So, not for this round, but the next ones, we're definitely pushing most Martial Mainline stuff to be made out of some organic material, which again, we'll show you some of the drop 2 samples over here on the end that use a lot of those fabrics as well. So with this sweatpant here, that's a small weight. You want to? It's a medium. We have some nice curved paneling detailing, right hand zipper pocket. Again, that same cracked print detail that gets cut off by the panel. You know, it's just a perfect standard, you know, straight leg sweat with, you know, a little bit edgy of swag in it. You know, it's just a good piece. And, you know, not too many features on it because we didn't need it. Sorry, it's a little dirty. You know, these ones have been tossed around. But 2 main features that we think are just awesome are this drop pocket. And again, if you've never experienced a drop pocket before, you should. And then you'll never be able to go back to a regular sweat pant or pant that doesn't have it. It's just so convenient for dropping your phone in there, anything. You'll see what I mean if you get them. And then lastly, the best detail on this is this lace design. This was extremely hard to achieve. Honestly, very expensive to do. Our manufacturer was super pissed at us that we wanted to do this in our design, but because they're so good at what they do, they figured it out. You know, it has this nod to, you know, boxing, fight wear. You know, it's nice and sealed on the inside, but they hand weave this into the garment, which again, like, is expensive to do when it comes to overall production logistics. That's why they were pissed, but they're willing to do it, and they did a phenomenal job. So that is Marshall Mainline. I mean, that's the sweat. If anyone wants this free large pair that was worn during our campaign shoot, you know, DM us or whatever. We'll send it out to you because, you know, after a couple washes, this will be fine. But both the cotton products and Mainline are also pre-shrunk and treated with an enzyme wash for softness. Technical terms that I think most people don't care about, but, you know, we nerd over it. But yeah, that's basically the apparel for drop 1. We forgot about the accessories. So we have 3 accessories that we're doing. First one are our famous, well, not famous, but soon to be famous, hopefully, I don't know, double socks. So this is, you know, the take on, you know, back in the day, I think what was like Nike Elites did it.
Nobody did it.
Okay, cut that out. Basically, this is a sick play on that, but really it's just, you know, a good essential crew sock, but we doubled it so that, you know, it's not a double layered sock all the way, but just the top part where you can get, you know, double the logo, double the aura. If you want to go white with the blacks or do the contrast, I don't know, like, what kind of person are you? You know, it's a different look for a different person, but either way, very soft, very nice. Don't really need to speak more on socks besides the way they look. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And then next, we have a really dope Scully. And, you know, Scullies are fun and cool. There's so many different styles that you can do, but ours is, I'm not gonna say it's like groundbreaking by any means, but it's just a really nice Scully. The knit structure on it is really dope. The cuffed hem is unique, super thin. You'll be able to see it more if you guys end up getting it, but we definitely made sure that the logo was on the side of the head for when you do actually wear it. You don't have to like flip it or turn it, but we just wanted to make it loud, you know, kind of put that logo out there because, you know, we think it's sick, and maybe we'll explain what the logo means in another video. That's the Scully. And then finally, we have our hand wraps, which I don't want to take them all out because they're pretty long and fun, but it's a jacquarded perforated mesh. They got, you know, the Velcro straps, you know, woven thumb tabs or thumb loops. If you're a boxer in this sport, you know, they're really good for you guys to use. Really good quality. And that's the accessories for M1. Again, more to come in due time, but that's it.